David, I guess how much are you looking forward to this matchup? I mean, it's being billed pretty heavily as the match of the century, I think, is what Flo's calling it. How excited are you for it? You know, you're 1 day away.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Just it's always nice to be able to go down and compete. It's always nice to compete against the best guys. So an opportunity to wrestle one of the best guys in the country, and that's all you can ask for as an athlete.
Tim?
Quentin and Nico, how important is it to see an opponent that you're going to see in the Big Ten season again this year?
It's going to be, fun. You don't want to wrestle people too many times, but it's good to get a feel for them, get a feel for it, especially against somebody good, who's real, good guys. It gives you a bar to, help you work on things and help you get better.
Well, it's good. Hopefully I can just set the pace and the tone and, set it so he doesn't want to wrestle me again. That's the plan. He's obviously a very good wrestler, but, I'm not wrestling. My style is not going to change, so just hopefully I'll let him know that I'm there.
Andy?
David, in a match like this, it doesn't count toward any records or count toward postseason seeding or anything. Do you hope that you and he will just let it all hang out and just put on a show?
There's no such thing as something that doesn't count. One way or another, it's going to count for something. So, it's definitely a match that obviously we're both preparing for, and the result, although it may not count, it does count. So, just going to go out and wrestle, and I prepared. I'm ready to wrestle, so just got to go out and wrestle for 7 minutes. Do everything I do. Nothing changes. Got to wrestle for 7 minutes, wrestle my pace, and just see what happens.
David, you wrestled Kyle at the Olympic trials. What did you learn about that experience when you were out there, and I guess where have you come since then?
I mean, that performance was obviously a building performance for me, and I've been making progress in areas I need to make progress in, and I'm ready to compete.
Kelsey?
Quentin, what's the expectation going down there? Obviously, you're one of those guys that kind of likes to be, out there in front of a lot of people. It'll be a big deal. People are making a big deal about it. What have you been doing to prepare?
Just wrestling hard every day. It's the same as going down there is the same as going to a dual meet or going to a big matchup with Iowa. It's the same focus. We've been, all of us here, we've been preparing for it. Just like it would be a big match in our training, and although it's the first, kind of like the first match of the season, it's a really good event just to go down there, and it's a starting point for the rest of the season, and we're all excited for it, and we don't treat it any differently other than that. It's going for a good cause, and that we're just we've been training like we always do, and we go out there, we expect to wrestle hard, and we expect to give it our best.
It's been labeled this all-star duel. I mean, you have the All-American title and you have those titles, but is it kind of cool to be named an all-star by your peers?
Yeah. I mean, it's cool, but I don't know, my mom calls me a star too, so.
That's more important.
Yeah, that's just as important, I guess. She says everybody's special.
Yes, Travis.
Dylan, you have Welch again. I think this will be the third time you've wrestled him. I think that was your last match last year at NCAA's. Were you able to squeak one out against him? You guys are 1-1 against one another. What do you kind of expect out of him this time around, and how have you kind of prepared for this match?
I mean, same. I'm just been training hard, and I'm just gonna wrestle like I wrestle at the NCAAs. I mean, I think I'm pretty good right now, well conditioned. So I'm just going out there and having fun and taking it to him.
David, are you fully healthy for this match? Do you have any setbacks preparing for this match?
According to reliable sources, I'm out for the season, so no, I'm healthy.
No setbacks whatsoever.
No, I'm healthy.
Quentin, any anxiety about moving up a weight? I mean, you eager to see where you are with dealing with heavier guys?
Oh yeah, it's anytime you're wrestling, different opponents, people you haven't seen before. You always have a little. The unknown. So, moving up a weight class is just, this is a good start. Like I said, it's a good starting point to go out to for the rest of the season and really gauge the things you need to work on, things you need to tweak. But really, I got to stay the same, where my attitude's got to go out there and, push the pace, make guys wrestle, These guys are going to be a little bit bigger, a little bit slower, but still, I got to wrestle my match in order to win and not let them control the pace. So it's the same attitude, but it's the beginning of the season. It's a good time to start, refining everything.
Nico, where do you set the bar for yourself this year after what you were able to accomplish last year? What would be a successful season for you? Is that the sky's the limit, the national championship? Is that as far as you can go?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously you can't, if I can't, winning it, is obviously the goal, and to go out and dominate is the plan. That just has to be my attitude, go out and, put up as much points on the board and just dominate and not worry, about winning, going out and letting it fly.
You had a pretty remarkable run last year. What did you learn about yourself after that run at NCAAs?
Well, I always knew I was capable of it. I think mentally that's one of my strongest points, and that's what Nationals is about. It's all mental, but this year I want to set the tone from the beginning of the season that, hopefully it goes out and I'm, on top, so.
Technique-wise, I know you guys are in shape and working hard and all that kind of stuff, but technique, if you picked up anything new, any moves that let's say you have 1 or 2 takedowns, if you picked up something, a third that you're working on, because generally, if you're going to really be successful, you need a third takedown for everybody.
Well, yeah, that's actually been the thing I've been working on the most this summer is missing my first shot, going to the second, going to the third, because that's what it's all about in college. You can't just all the time just shoot once and expect to score. It's got to be shooting and then shooting again or looking for your score. So that's just the biggest thing is chain wrestling for me that I've gotten better at.
Dylan, looking ahead to the season, how excited are you to be wrestling alongside with Andrew again?
I'm really looking forward to it. I haven't wrestled with him, 2 years now, so having him by my side again is really going to just help me, and it's just going to be exciting to be on the same team and wrestling side by side.
Guys, last year at the end of the season we walked in and we saw balloons and pictures and sayings all over the place. What's the atmosphere like in the practice room? Are coaches doing anything crazy so far this year?
Not really.
I just put up like a sign once a week, just like a saying. Kind of forget what they are, but it's a different one each week. So I guess.
How are the new guys melding with you as a team? Are they fitting in?
Yeah, they're doing great. Obviously, we had some really good freshmen coming in this year, and they're all progressing really well. You'll see a few of them out there tonight. They're just itching to get in the lineup and taking advantage every day in the room, wrestling the best guys, which is all you can ask for. So, good group of kids.
David, do you have a relationship with Kyle off the mat? Have you guys talked much or anything away from wrestling?
Well, he tweeted at me and told me he wanted the red singlet, so I told him I wanted the blue singlet. But, no, when we grew up, we wrestled with each other growing up a lot. Good, friends of his family, but wrestling's something where when you're on the mat, you're not necessarily friends, and you're off the mat, you can be friends because it's obviously everyone's working towards the same goal. He's a competitor. One thing that makes him really good is he shows up when it's time to show up. So, and that's something that I'm looking forward to wrestling, and probably the biggest match of my college career. Happened a couple of times this year, and so it's just always exciting to see those challenges.
In that sense, with Kyle, joining the weight class, and you guys will wrestle on Saturday. Do you feel like, after last year's season, you had about as good a season as you can possibly have with the Hodge Trophy and the national championship and the undefeated record and all that. Do you feel like maybe you still have something a little bit to prove this season at the same weight? Coming in as the number 2 guy, in terms of the rankings, I don't know how much stock you put in those.
Yeah, I guess I feel like the vibe is a lot of people think I'm going to lose, which is really weird to me. It's not something I'm used to feeling. I feel that it's my weight class, and it's time to go out and prove this weekend. And just nothing changes. There's a lot of people wanted to say a lot of things about the match and compare things and compare results, and it's all about, you can't really compare results until you wrestle each other. And there's a 7-minute match, and what makes me the best is I wrestle hard for 7 minutes and I score points. And if I go out and do that, I'm going to have a great result, and that's what I'm focusing on.
Quentin, what are the challenges for you going up weight class? I mean, are there any challenges there that have maybe presented themselves early on for you, or is it something where you have to kind of actually get into the flow of the weight class? I mean, wrestle a couple guys, and then you'll kind of adjust as you go along?
Yeah, it's just going to be, I got to get into the flow, see how the people wrestle, how they react, because they're not going to react the same as guys down to 84. But I've been wrestling the bigger guys in the practice room, so I'm kind of adjust to it as much as I can. But same, I just got to go out there and wrestle my match and push the pace, and and like I said, this weekend's the first opportunity to start tweaking it towards the end of the year, to refining my style, what works, what doesn't, and like every match is just a exhibition to the first match at nationals, as long as you get there. So. And that's the way we treat it. Every match is a building point to the ultimate goal of bringing back that individual and team trophy at the end of the year, and that's what we're focusing on.
Who have you been wrestling with in the room?
Just Ed Ruth, McIntosh, Phipps, Coach Kale, Casey, and sometimes Cody if he picks on me.
Has it hit you that it's your senior year yet, Quentin? What's it feel like to be 1 year left?
Yeah, it's been, I've thought about it a little bit. Hasn't quite hit me so far. I think it's going to hit me quite a bit, especially academic-wise, definitely hit me. Absolutely got that all planned out. But wrestling-wise, I think it's really going to hit me once we get, start the first match. I'm thinking, well, this is the last time I get to weigh in. Now, even a little bit tonight, where I'm thinking, well, this is my last intra-squad. Even though I'm not quite, I'm not wrestling, still, it's the last one of my career. So it's kind of, it's starting to sink in. As the season goes on, it's really going to sink in more.
Dylan, I'll ask you the same question I asked Nico. Last year with your performance at NCAAs, what did you kind of learn about yourself being able to get as far as you did in your first year really out there?
Just believing in myself really by the beginning of the year to the end, and this just improving day by day, and hopefully coming up with that national title this year. I mean, I don't train as hard as I do just to place second, so I'm training to get at the top this year. So.
Nico, you and Jimmy Gulabon were friends before he came up here. Have you been kind of helping him along, get adjusted to Penn State, get adjusted to campus and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy, he's a talented kid, to say the least. He's one of them kids where when he, just he's got to believe that he's that good, and I think it'll show it. So just the main thing with him is, believing that he's that good. But yeah, I've been trying to help him out, wrestle with him.
What should we be looking for tonight when we watch him? Like, what stands out about his style?
Speed.
David, do you have any history with Dake and folk style? Have you guys ever met, going back to youth wrestling or coming up through?
I don't know. Yeah, that stuff is pretty irrelevant. Growing up as kids, but we wrestled a few times that I can remember, but that doesn't really mean too much.
Anything else?
Was it your guys' decision not to wrestle tonight, or was it just kind of a group decision to save yourselves for Saturday?
I would say coaches, I mean, even you probably, with the first match, probably don't want to wrestle 2 days out, especially for an all-star match, so just resting out.
It was a collective decision between us and the coaches. We got together, well, what do you guys feel, what do you think? And, coaches work together with us, and then they do whatever they feel is best for us.
Just curious, David, where is the Hodge Trophy? Is that something you have here on campus in your apartment, or is that something back home with the folks? Or
No, I just left it with the coaches, and I'm actually not really sure.
I think it's in the hall. It's in a display up on the mezzanine over by where the
It's
wrestling.
not that big of a deal.
Well, I was supposed to get it at a football game, and they kept, I don't know what's going on.
Wisconsin.
So I guess
Wynn's going to
then-
present it at the Wisconsin game.
Cool.
Can you crush an apple with your hand? Dan Hodge?
I can eat apple. I can eat an apple.
Same with me.
That's about it.
You guys look forward to that type of stuff when you're going out to get introduced in front of Beaver Stadium? Is that kind of pretty cool thing to rally around as a team?
Yeah, I would say it's really cool whenever you get a chance to stand out in front of 110,000 people and they're all looking at you. That's like twice this year. I know as a team we went out there. For the first game, all the athletes went out there, and then we went out there again. You know, to be recognized for wrestling accomplishments with the military. I think that time, but it was it's always cool whenever you have the attention of so many people like that. It's a cool feeling.
Cool to have Molinaro back for that.
Oh yeah, that was fun. He's cool.
Leading up to a season, you're just wrestling against the same guys on your own team over and over. What's the excitement level just to start wrestling against fresh faces, I guess, once more?
I think it's definitely time to show, prove to yourself or show the things that you've been working on, and definitely there's times when you wrestle guys in the room so many times you just want to punch them in the face. But so it's always really nice to be able to get out there and compete. But the thing you look forward to the most is wrestling for at call. There's no atmosphere like that, and I think everyone's pretty excited for that first match in Lehigh, we wrestled at Lehigh in front of the best fans in the country. So I mean that's one thing I'm definitely looking forward to.